Hello and welcome to episode 10 of our Timberborn Update 7 Emberpelts playthrough here in Cycle 16, Day 14. 2 days left until we get into a drought here, and last time we had a lot of small improvements to various things in addition to having a farm set up and our hospital area kind of, not perfectly done, but done enough for it to be tolerable, we'll say. Still some stuff I want to do to that, and of course we have plenty of other things to fix over here. But right away, I want to address some stuff you guys mentioned in the comments, specifically with the sluice gates here. So this should not be set to open because we have clean water. Why is it set to open like that? I'm honestly not sure. Because it's set to close above contamination 2%, and this is set to 0. These are set to auto. So I don't know why they're open. Because I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid. I have like 1.5 billion things going on right now, and I probably should have just, you know, not try to do 4 Timberborn series at one time. But for whatever reason, it was broken, now it's fixed. I don't even know what I did, but now I know it works, so that is fine. This is closed, so this should dry up immediately. And this was already ready to go, so, yep, that's fixed. Moving on. We have, I think, everything over here still set correctly, but we probably don't need to have this sluice really doing much of anything. But I also don't want to mess with it. Then we get over here, where I've been told this is wrong, but I refuse to believe that's true because this is completely full, and water can't go back out. So I appreciate you guys commenting on this, but I have no idea what you're talking about with this being set incorrectly because it's working. This here is set to, you know, always be open because I set it that way, but it was originally supposed to just divert bad water away from this area to come through here. But now that this is set up, and in theory, unless I've done something just horribly, horribly wrong, this should take care of all of that just fine. The next step, of course, is to get some clean water coming out this way. Although I don't really think that's going to be an issue. I think we're probably going to be fine. We do still need to clean up some stuff here. And I do need to, at some point, make it so all of this clean water comes out this hole instead of over here. Otherwise, things are looking pretty good. I think we can kind of leave this alone for right now and continue working on some other things. So that leads us to this area down here. We peel back our land. We got a lot of space we're not utilizing. And we have all of these lumberjack flags that cannot jack any more lumber because there's nothing in range. So we get rid of them. Now we have all this space behind here. We can continue to plant additional plants. And I think over here where we already have trees, assuming that this is always going to be clean based on how this is set up over here, I think this is going to be a good spot for a tree farm. So, recognizing that we do need to have berries, and not wanting to get rid of them until I have a pretty robust solution for farming them elsewhere, I think what might make sense in this scenario is to figure out, take this a little bit more down, figure out what we can and cannot grow here in terms of trees. It's mostly going to be oaks, I am absolutely certain. But if I can squeeze in some berries kind of around the periphery here, I think that's going to be a smart choice. We do still have berries over here. They can reach with this gatherer flag. That is also taking care of apples. And storage for both of those is currently full, so I don't think we really need to be super worried. But as time goes by, and we continue making more and more and more food, remember we have the Emberpelts food extension mod, which gives us other types of food. And one of those, I don't think we're making yet. It does involve berries. Where is that? Scones! There it is. Yeah, we have to have some berries for that. That's 1 berry per recipe, and 1 recipe makes 5 units. So, again, not, you know, mission critical, like it is with the Iron Teeth, because the Emberpelts, by default, do not breed using berries. You can download that mod if you want, as an extension to this, but we don't really need to worry about it except for doing this specific recipe. And then I don't think there's a berry juice here. No, there is not. Yeah, so for right now, this is probably okay. That being said, I am going to have them deconstruct all of these berry bushes. And I don't think they have access to all of this just quite yet. So that could be, oh, you know what? You know, I don't need to sit here and waste time picking and choosing all of this. I'll just have them take this out so they can use this path and go around here, clear this out, and then we'll start planting additional trees. So these are already marked for cutting, which means that as soon as we get a lumberjack in range, they can get that cut down, and then we'll build a forester, and then we can keep some of these berries here, like I said. Maybe just on this side of this farmhouse, we'll let those berries spread into here, and then have this path come around this way, which means we need to pick a spot for our forester. And I know I can't place it right now because there's stuff all over the place. But if I were to put this, say, right here, they would still have plenty of access to this entire area. The problem with that is, because of the travel time from where this forester is all the way to this corner right here, and because there's nothing back here, this really isn't a great place to put one, just from an efficiency standpoint. So we'd probably want it to actually be closer to maybe, come on, rotate, there we go, closer to maybe right about here, depending on how else we want to have things set up. But I think this is probably fine. It is closer to this corner, and it allows us to get over here if we want as well. So, you know, since I don't have any reason not to, I'm just going to put this here. And yes, we will use the regular path with no handrails, because why do you need handrails next to farm plants? I don't know. I don't really have a good reason for that. So we're going to let them do what they got to do here. Get this on triple speed. And move on to the next, because there's still, again, plenty of stuff to do. We do have... I want to click on the path, not the beavers. There we go. Wooden path with the railings, but we also have, I believe, yes, the decorative floor, which I had kind of forgotten about. I don't think this is technically a path, but this is something that we could use in areas, say like right here underneath these items. It's just 50 science and we have 23,000. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We can put this right in the front here and just wrap around underneath those hedges like that. I think that's going to look maybe imperceptibly different, but a little bit of a visual improvement. I don't know. I kind of like it. I think that's kind of fun. We can employ that elsewhere as we see fit. And then I think long-term this is going to get redeveloped as well. But the primary reason I was talking about building more trees and tree farms is this is not able to keep up with our current needs. Obviously, we only have 164 logs, and we do have other trees up here that are not being cut down, and I think, yeah, it's all in range. They can just, you know, only do so much at once. That's the way it goes. So we just have to kind of keep things monitored over here. Alright, so now we have a 6-day drought. We are all, of course, all prepared for water and food. I just need to get everything connected here so our forester can do forester-related activities. Like planting additional trees, just as soon as all of this garbage gets removed. Okay, I didn't have to have the stumps removed, but I guess that's fine. Yeah, I see we've got here. And then I am leaving those there. I don't think there's any other stuff. That is a... yeah, that's a pine tree. Okay. So, I am going to only plant oak trees. I know there's a sizable faction of you folks who are very adamant that it is a mistake to only plant oak trees. We're going to have to agree to disagree. I do not see the value, time-wise or effort-wise, to plant the quote-unquote inferior trees for one growth cycle when we're not in a complete crisis of trying to have wood. We're just going to have to let it be what it's going to be. But we do need to, before things get too crazy here, we do need to put in at least one lumberjack flag over here. I'm going to say 2 for right now should be okay. We can always add more later. But 2 right here close to the forester without obstructing the immediate exit path should be pretty good. If you're wondering why there's no trees planted here, it's because the overhang prohibits that. And I know we do have some areas that are kind of dry here. That can be fixed, theoretically, long term, by just having a better water management in here. I do have this set to always open, which means this will drain into this area, which drains into here, which is then bounded by this dam, which will only keep this about half full. So if we really, really want to, we could, you know, kind of improve this a little bit with some floodgates, especially since, you know, it's not really that big of a deal if this loses a little bit of water. That's just one of those projects that we will need to do at some point. Yeah, so seeing how we're not going to have any bad water flooding through here, and we already have all this taken care of, I don't think there's really going to be any consequences if we do this incorrectly, so let's just take that out. And we do have these flat top floodgates I think would be a great fit for here. And I'm just going to set this at 0.9, and I'm not going to worry about changing that. This will, of course, drain, because, well, that's what it does. Well, that should keep things a little bit nicer in here. And once we're absolutely sure that we're not going to have any bad water come through here ever, then I can take all of these out, and this can just be one large reservoir. And once this is built up so that it just retains a whole bunch of water, when everything is completely taken care of, then that is going to be fantastic. It's going to be something else, but we got a long way to go before we get there. We really need to secure a better source of scrap metal. And I know we were in the process of harvesting all of this, but it's, you know, it's not going to last forever. We're almost out. And while there is, if you go all the way down. Now, did I lose this? I'm going to look stupid again. There was a what do you call it? A mine over here somewhere. I forgot where it was. Oh, here it is. Yeah, we can't really get in here quite yet. Let's hit pause. I paused so I can think. I know I don't have to pause to do this, but I want to be able to get in here. And I think we had decided that there was a reason this could not be built, and that is, oh, you know, I need to unlock this anyway. It does not have clearance, so we would have to excavate. Maybe, yeah, probably not all of the 5x5 area, but a considerable amount of it. We also don't have a way to get in here that is, well, safe for the beavers. Technically, we could have them, you know, walk through here, but I don't think that's a smart choice. So this would definitely be hard mode for a mine, but we also have this over here, which is technically further away, but you come all the way up here. It's still hidden, but it probably would be a little bit easier to get into. I don't think... Yeah, we can't build this one either. Oh, the choices that I have made in choosing this map. I'll make an easy map. It won't be super hard like everything else I've done that's been really terrible. Okay. All jokes aside, yeah, I think we're going to have to figure this out. Because the only other big mine is over here. That is the only one that isn't that mess. Now this one, of course, is accessible from the surface, but it is very far away. Long term, yes, this would be a great candidate for a train line to connect this area to this area, of course, as a separate district, because that's how the train mod works. But that's not an episode 10 thing. That is, honestly, probably at least 5 to 10 episodes into the future before we can get over here. So, regrettably, for the time being, I think we are going to have to just send the beavers on another quest for scrap metal so we can do everything else that we want to do. And there's not a lot of other options here. Not looking good. In fact, I really don't see any other option outside of just coming all the way over here, where this is also buried underground, by the way. Is there even any way to get in here without having to blast something? I don't know. I mean, I have this right here. What tile is this? 46, 175. Okay. Now, I know this is going to get flooded with bad water, depending on how I choose to do this. I think it would probably be better to come in from above and miss this drainage channel, because that would just make this completely untenable. So if I did that, I'd have to come into C. Well, see, that's not really a foolproof idea either. Oh, why did I do this to myself? All right, can I get to this tile here? 46, 177. Oh, that's on the other side. Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's come into this. Come into this tile right here. 47, 179. That is 46. There's 47, 179. So we come out to this oak tree right here. We can. Okay, that's still super far. That is still super far. But I will. I'll just do that so I know where that is, and then I guess I can unpause. I know it's going to be a thing. Bring this all the way down here. Come on, click please. Thank you. Okay, 47, 178. Is that going to be... Okay, that, you know what? That's going to have to be good enough, folks. That's going to have to be good enough. I'm going to, I guess, triple dynamite 47, 178, and see where that gets me here. Because if that's going to work, we can, of course... do I have ladders researched? I don't remember. I do. So this is what happens when I only have so much time to do all this. Alright, B for boom. Can I see down? No, I cannot. What? How many? One? Oh, okay. I think I can just get away with doing a single dynamite here. This would be a good opportunity for us to put a tubeway in. I know we don't have a ton of metal, and I want to build those sparingly, but given how much those cost, I think... I forget there was a separate button here. Yeah, you know, it's going to cost... It's going to cost metal, but it saves other resources, which we don't really care about. I keep thinking of the water beavers ladders that cost a whole bunch of metal, like 4 blocks each. So maybe I really shouldn't be worried about it. But also, tubeways are faster, more efficient, and as we have everything else going, then maybe that makes sense. I don't know. We'll see what happens. P for boom. Now we can get all the way down here. All the way down here. So if, actually, you know, if I put a tubeway here, that's going to block stuff off. So, I lied. It's going to be ladders. Well, I didn't lie intentionally. I just tend to forget things. So if I put that there, we also have these trees we can cut down. I think that would be a smart choice. I do have a bunch of extra beavers, which is what prompted some of this. Just for the record. But now that we have access down here, I think I can put in staircase there. That's going to allow me to get to most of this. Put that there as well. Yeah, I think I can just let these guys kind of go to town on this. Is this gonna play nice? I guess I don't really need to worry about it, do I? We'll just let them do that. Find out what in the world they're doing. And put in somewhere over here, I guess oh, that's the wrong one. I keep forgetting that these guys have this. I just want that. Super simple for scrap metal. And then they can do what they want. Alright, so we're going to leave that alone. Coming down here, we are most of the way through the drought, and, you know, most of the trees are still irrigated. That's good. These have all been cut down. That means this needs to be planted. Oh, there is a single pine tree that has not been cut down because it's not quite grown, but it's about to be. Yep, there we go. That'll get cut down in approximately 30 real-life seconds once this grows up. And there it goes. All right, problem solved. Now we have oak trees. I am just so curious about this. Okay, they're still in the process of building all that. That'll get done soon. Yeah, see, this is remaining a problem here. Just have to have more water available. Yeah, also, this is all of our remaining contamination here. That has now dried up and is no longer contaminated. That's nice that it does that. And that's just a regular farmhouse. These guys don't have the aquatic farmhouse. But it's similar in model to what the Folktales have for the aquatic farmhouse. The only other food building we haven't constructed yet is the grist mill, and that, of course, is used to turn wheat into wheat flour, or corn into cornmeal. I think the game calls it cornmeal. Yes. So we probably should get on that when we revamp some of our other food stuff. But for now, we got clean water coming back here. We've got this area that is not flooded, thankfully. And I don't know that it ever will be. But that is going to be something we'll have to deal with at a later point in time. We'll see how that goes. Nope, I probably should also mark these trees for cutting. That might help. Maybe just a little bit. Let that guy do what he's got to do. We got some bad water kind of creeping in here. I do still want to, you know, completely seal this off, but we have to have a whole lot more in the way of metal blocks for that to be viable. And I don't think that's really super sustainable until we have a mine that can get us everything. But this right here should, for a decent while, assuming I can keep up with pathing, should be fine. Now, I say as I just rocket all over the place for no reason. I know it's the middle of the night. I do have that time of day locked, so we don't get the nighttime stuff. Let me know if you're enjoying that, by the way, because it's kind of disorienting, honestly. I know there's a very small amount, but a very vocal small amount of you who prefer it that way, so if the majority of people don't like this, then I guess I could reverse it. We'll see. I think we're going to have a pretty good wood supply here in the next couple days or so. By couple, I mean 20. My perception of time is extremely skewed, so that's the way that goes. Otherwise, here, I think we probably still need more peppers. I can't believe. No. I have almost 800 bell peppers, so what is the deal with the stuffed peppers? Like, I know I have about the same amount of production for everything. Got grilled beets, grilled bell peppers, and grilled corn. That's making baked beets, that's making stuffed peppers. So why is this one specifically out of corn? Really? How am I out of corn? I thought I had tons of it over here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was wrong, because I don't think I planted any over here. Well, I guess I have to plant some corn. I didn't think it was going to be a problem. So let's, I guess just right behind the farmhouse, we'll plant some corn. That is so weird that that is what the problem would be. But I guess it makes sense. In some way, shape, or form. Alright, now, we do have scrap metal here. They are, you know, they're doing the thing over here. So I guess I just need to stop checking on them and leave them alone. Let them do what they are supposed to do. So, in terms of power production, I mean, we're looking really good over here because we aren't really making much because I have most of my storage full. That's not always going to be the case once we have other stuff going here. I know we have full storage. Probably should expand that. Charcoal we're not really using a ton of. See, I don't know. I'm not used to doing this like this. So maybe we should focus on some other stuff, like the nutrition stuff. We haven't really done much with juice. And I kind of feel like that's going to be opening up an entirely new can of worms in terms of supplying ingredients. Oh, yeah, let's just smack the microphone with my hand. That's a good job. We haven't made any of these because we only have the one juice press. So since we have this area over here and we do have power for the decontamination pods, I don't know. Like, I kind of don't want to tie into this just because it's going to look kind of stupid. But this is making, it's not making a ton, but it's making enough that since we have the Smart Power mod that's going to turn things off when they're not in use, I think this probably could support a couple of presses. And they only use 50 HP each. And there are 6 different types of juice that we can make. So you can do the math on that one. That is definitely less than is currently being produced. Assuming this is a typical power output, I think it's viable. I just don't know like how good that would look here. Because we do have all this storage. I could just stack these on top of here, but that would I mean, I could get 6 over here. It just wouldn't look very good. And we also have to have the tanks. Yeah, that's the problem with trying to do something that looks nice, is you have to think about it. Because ultimately, if you're doing storage stuff, you really want to have the underground tank for absolutely everything. But putting in 6 of these is a considerable amount of space. Now, we don't have to have the stuff right here. I just thought because this is power that's not really being used that much, that would be a decent place to stick it. We could also have an area kind of over here off to the side, or this that's not irrigated. Might be a decent place for it, and maybe that would look a little bit better. I don't know. And over here we're still making extra power just because these things aren't going all the time. I don't know, without doing substantial terraforming, there's not a lot of great places to put a big complex like that. Yes, I know. Shut up and just do something. So, let's come cut down these trees. I know I don't have anybody over here, but I do have the ability to put in some more paths here. And give them a lumberjack flag or 2. Get this area cut. Did we get all of the scrap metal? It looks like we did. Okay, that scavenger flag is gone. There is nothing else over here except a nasty river that we could use for power. I know update 7 gives us the preview of how much power this is going to generate, but this, or not update 7. 1.0 experimental. Boy, do I need to figure this out. Sorry, folks. It's been a very long, like, 3 months. I think this would be worth building some water wheels here. And if we were to do that, then maybe this could be a decent place for a little juice complex. Without having to worry about getting power up there. I would then have to have a way to get across here. Is that completely blocked? Yeah, I think that should be okay. And I do have to have this set here so I can, put stuff across. I could build to the side of suspension bridges, and these don't require any metal. So if I did the 6x here, okay, I don't need the 6x, I can do the 5. Yeah, if I do that right there, then what I can do is I can just pop this across. 6 of these, just like that. Is it ugly? Yeah, a little bit. Is it going to work? You bet. So since we will be there already, I can just do one of these. Right, like that. Put in a couple platforms and then start the process of putting in additional wheels on this side. So yes, I know I'm going to have to remove the 5x1 bridge and then build increasingly shorter bridges just to put this in. But if you hadn't noticed, we're not short on planks, so I'm not really worried about that. Now what I need to do is get these trees out of here. And then I think I can envision a slightly less terrible looking press area. And if I'm going to have wheels here, this is 6 wide as is. So I could do 1, 2, 3 across this way. I only need to have 6 of these for the record. But one of these recipes makes canola oil, which is not a juice that the beavers can drink. Well, you could drink it if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it. So I technically only need to, in this area, if we're only talking about food, have 5 of these. Which would actually look better than having 6. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think for right now, just this being food would be better. Then I could have 5 of these for juices, and I could have 1 for water, and that would probably look pretty nice. But they're not going to do any of this until I have a path that can actually connect. So let's bring that in there, let them take care of that. They've gotten most of the trees that are over here, just to kind of fill our buffer for the logs before these oak trees mature, so that's not a thing we have to really worry about. We are full on metal block storage, so maybe now is a good time. And I've got 135 scrap metal. Well, you see, it's going to be, I think, a net positive for us to build one of these this early. Assuming we can keep building other ones. Because this is already... If this gets completely blocked off, then we just have clean water here we can force up. Or force into this area, depending on how we want to do things. Is there a better location, I ask myself, than this bad water thing? We take this all the way down so we can actually see where those go. That is the closest one to where we are right now. There's one over here, but that is... Okay, that already drains all the way over on the other side. Yep, alright. I'm going to do it, because I can. And I don't think they can get to this. No, they cannot. Alright, let's just put in a staircase here that'll allow them to build that. A lot of the components to build this are already stored, kind of stored here with dedicated project storage, so we can just let that be what it's going to be. These guys, see, we still have all these unemployed beavers. So many things I could have them doing right now. All right, let's put in their lumberjack flag here. I realize I marked these for cutting, but I didn't have an eligible lumberjack over here. There we go. Let's put that there, and I'm going to put in 2 more of these over here. Let them take care of that. We probably could plant more crops here. I'm not entirely sure how I want that to look yet, and we've got plenty of food, so I think that's fine. Jury is still out on the corn because this has not had a full growth cycle yet, so we don't know if that's going to be enough, but it has more or less doubled the amount that we're growing, so you know that has to be a positive. In some way, shape, or form. Let's take this down to maybe this level here, so we can see, yep. Why are they not building these? I guess they're just lagged behind on something. But this is, wow, by itself is making 102 HP. That is not bad. Not bad in the slightest. No, this is dumping water that way. Okay. That's fine. And yes, I do recognize there is an underground ruins here. Unfortunately, it is flooded. And it's going to take a while before we can get that blocked off. But I do know it's there, in case you were curious. And they can technically still reach that. That's fine. I do have them building a lot of stuff. And, oh, hold on. I don't need to have the bridge thing selected. If you hold down the wrong set of keys, it does weird stuff. Okay, yeah, they're going to take their sweet time doing this. The explosives are in, though, so that's good. Metal blocks are in. This number keeps going up, which is the goal, even if this number is going down, so that's good. Gears-wise, I've used a lot of those, but they should, unless I paused it and forgot, still be making those, and they are. Okay. Oh, I moved this up so that I could replace this with a large workshop, but I haven't done that yet. I think that should be okay. That's only connecting that to that. Yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and put this here. What is logs and planks? Of course, they're going to come pick that up. Well, not in the middle of the night, they're not. So I guess we just have to wait. I will 30 times speed the rest of the day there so we don't have to sit here forever. Yep, come and grab all this stuff. It's prioritized. You know what to do. No storage space for the 15 planks, huh? Is that going to be stuck there forever? Is that what this world has come to? I guess it is. But now, I don't want them to build that. I just have to move these out to the path. That is not the right keyboard shortcut to mass delete. And now I can unpause that. Come in with the large gear workshop. There we go. That is going to need to be prioritized just so they actually build it. And that should help us out a whole lot. In terms of power consumption, oh, this isn't connected anymore because it's not, okay, that's a vertical power shaft. It's just not connected to anything. Alright. I was about to have a moment there. One of those times where you're like, man, how did I do something so stupid? Well, life goes on. They still haven't built these two. Why? Too far from a district and cannot... What? Oh. Oh, man. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about that. They hadn't built that. Alright, well, that was a mistake. What in the world am I supposed to do here? Because I can't get them in here. That's annoying. Alright, I'm going to have to take at least one of those out. Why am I like this? That is a genuine question. See, I really... Oh, sheesh. 'Cause I have to be able to get over here. That is also not the correct button. Good job. Once again, pausing so I don't have to have these sounds playing in my ear. Because I don't want them to get contaminated. I have the thing. That doesn't mean I want them to have to use it. I also am not making Phoenix Essence, which is what goes in those. So let's definitely avoid that. I think the only real way to accomplish what I need to accomplish here is, unfortunately, to put in a platform here and a platform here, and then put in a bridge to said platform, which is then going to allow me to do this anyway. Okay. I think that's going to solve the problem. Hopefully. No guarantee that it does. That can't reach anything, so that can be done. Wait a second. Oh, no, that definitely could reach other... What am I doing today? Oh, this is terrible. I've completely lost my mind. Well, eventually they're going to figure it out, right? They have to. I know they're still building this, and that is an important thing. So I wonder... I do have enough, right? Yes, I do. For all of these things, I have enough for that. Alright. They're still not cutting those trees down, but we're not short. I guess that's fine. Got nothing going on here. Yeah, as far as things are concerned now, I think we're looking about as good as we can. Are we forcing stuff out this way? No, because there's no way for that to go out. I think we're forcing the extra water out here because of how this is set up. This is set to 0.9. So I don't think there's any water coming out of this. It's just really high. And there is no water coming out of this because that's also at 0.9. That's going through there because that's getting pumped. That should really be the only flow. That's completely closed. So I don't know where... yes, that's going that way. I don't know. I've managed somehow... What's the Pokemon meme? It hurt itself in its confusion. I've managed to somehow do everything wrong and get the right answer. And now I don't understand what I've done here. Oh boy. So here's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm just gonna time lapse a little bit of this. Let them get some building projects done, and then we'll come back and set up our juicery, or whatever you want to call it. And then we'll think about what the next steps from there are going to be. Okay, so they finished the bad water discharge, which means that now we only have clean water flowing through here. And as a result, this is looking a lot better. Now, there's still some nasty coming in from this, and then from areas over here. But this is already such a huge improvement. Very nice to see that. And as we come over here, you're also going to notice that I've managed to mostly solve this problem here. They're cutting some trees down. We are in the process of getting this fixed up. And that is going to be stupendous once it's done. So as we continue putting in stuff like presses over here, I'm going to need to put in some of these platforms just so we can have something to go on here. And this will allow me to have 5 across in a straight line. That should look decent. This is now ready here to be removed. And put that compact water wheel there. Yeah, there we go. And then once that's built, I can take this out. I can build one there, and they can take this out and put something else in. And you know how it goes. Just let them do what they got to do. Get as much of this done as we can without things getting completely insane. Of course, now it's the middle of the night, so these beavers can't work on anything else. Yeah, they're still working on that. Just look how much cleaner this is over here. I know it's still a bunch of red, but this already right here, being this much cleaner, is fantastic. That is really, really, really good. Now, yes, when we have a bad tide, this is still going to put out nasty bad water. But it's already a huge improvement. Don't forget we have these sources here as well that we can unblock at any time we choose. And now this guy is finished, so go do something else. How's our metal situation? Okay, there's still tons down here. We're going to be good for quite some time. So that is very good to see. Let's see here. How hard would it be for us to fill this up? Well, I don't have dirt. We don't have an excavator. But look how much water is going through here. And this is... it's really not that deep, honestly. If I were to stand here, proverbially stand right here, I would only need 1, 2, 3... I guess only 3 blocks or levees or something to completely close this off. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's go with that. That's going to completely block that off to that level. Because remember, we're only getting clean water coming out here. If I block that off, then the only other exit, to my knowledge, is here. So that'll force that out that way. It's probably a little harder to get down here. Otherwise, it's all going to go this way, which we already established. We have an overflow coming through here and through here. Depending on how high it gets, it may flood a tiny bit as this gets built, but I am very interested to see how this pans out. All right, I just need to get a beaver over here. So bring this over to this way, and then if I'm doing this correctly, a 2x1 bridge should be able to build all of that. Very easy. I also could have built a 4x1 here, but you know how it goes. That'll be fine. This is also possibly going to just flood up through here. We'll get there when we get there. Small steps. That will also help keep this from getting bad water flooding through here from all the discharging. Alright, now, yeah, we're looking better here. They can't reach anything else. Okay, good enough. I will take that. Let's get that set up here. Then you know the drill. But we can also start the process at the start of our 6-day drought. Start the process of putting these guys in. I don't think I need to mirror the doorways. But I can. Don't necessarily have to, but get those 5 going. And then we'll start with apple juice. Go to tomato juice. Skip the 3rd one because that's what goes there. Which is beet and radish. Corn juice, and then bell pepper juice here. So then I'm going to have my storages for all the materials, and then I have to have the big tanks for the resulting product. So depending on how we want to do this, because the tanks are underground, I just have to have 5 tanks. I know that the tanks are substantially larger than the presses that accompany them. I'm going to have some sort of something pathway coming through here. But if I stagger these, one side here, one side here, oh, then I'm going to have to... Oh, nope, that fits. That fits. Okay, okay. I'm not totally in love with that, though. I guess I might not have chosen the best location for this. But doing that there, let's... Okay, no, I'm trying too hard. I'm trying to do too much. I have to keep the middle open. And if I keep it, see, I just don't know, man. Like, if I did this and then I had that going that way, then I'd want... I need one more. I need one more. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to do it. I wasn't gonna do this way, but I'm gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna have to put this here. Trying to do it with the symmetry all messed up is it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna be great, and we want it to be great. Okay, so that's gonna have to go there. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. It's just gonna be offset. It's gonna look a little strange, but it's gonna be better than it looking completely horrible. Yeah, easiest thing to do here is, unfortunately, just to pop a couple of those in. So, yeah, all that talking about, I don't need to have canola oil done over here. No, we'll just do it all here. And this will be corn juice. This will be the bell pepper juice, and then beetroot radish juice has to go here. Okay, now I have to think about how this is going to, from an ingredient perspective, how this is going to work. I need to check these recipes, because these aren't all the same quantity of resources. It's one canola seed, and they all have variable output, but what I'm concerned with here is the distribution of ingredients to be pressed. They have different times, too. Well, that's 2, that's 2, that's a total of 2, that's technically a total of 2, but it takes water, and that's 2. Okay, I guess I'm just overthinking it again. So if we're going to do warehouses, I got the large warehouses do have the first floor entrance, but I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Underground warehouses have 3,600. I really don't think we need to be worried about that. So, if I were to do one here, and then another one here, I could still kind of get away with this, honestly. Again, just pausing so I can think. Yeah, see, that's not great. That's not great there. If I did this, that looks a little better. I mean, it's not great, but that gives me 4. If I back this out here one more, that does kind of close it off. But oh, hold on. Hold on. There's an idea. No, you lag. Get out of here. If I move this back 1, I put that there, then... Oh, it's not gonna let me do that. Well, okay. Boy, the comments are gonna be on fun on this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. The end product is going to look a lot better if I do it this way. It might not make sense now, but I assure you, it's going to look better. I think we can all appreciate when that looks better than what I have going on in my mind right now. So then that comes through there. That comes through there. Then this turns into here. And here. Yeah, so you know what? That's not gonna look bad. It's not gonna look bad. Except now I think I've made a mistake with, yeah, this doesn't need to get blown up. I think that's gonna be fine. Unless I've also miscounted how many different ingredients I need. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, man. Man, I thought I had this figured out. But no. No, it was not meant to be. I was so proud of that, too. Okay, new idea. If I put that there, And I have, assuming that's there and that's there. See, it's not going to be... Well, I could still have the 7th one. It's just going to be facing one way, either left or right. I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. I really don't need to be stressing out this much about this. I don't want it to look terrible. Because I feel like I always make stuff that looks bad. Alright, that is, that's gonna have to be good enough. That is gonna have to be good enough. That's gonna be 7 ingredients, and then, of course, plus water. So I guess we'll let them do that. They still haven't done this, which I guess is fine. In terms of water here, that's fine. That is... I guess that's done. Did they finish that? They did. And look, we got nasty water here, and we got clean water here. Okay, that's exciting. That's actually good we got that accomplished. I've been feeling kind of bad about this episode, but I guess that kind of redeems it. Alright, we blew a tunnel. That means that goes away. That gets B for boomed. And then my unholy disaster of a... You know what? Yeah. I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. We'll just take this out. We'll face to the left. That'll be... I mean, this it doesn't look bad. It just... it's just not great. Now, what I could do, instead of doing the giant underground tanks, I could just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... I will technically need to have 7 because of water. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Otherwise, I'm going to have to... If I'm going to bury tanks, they're going to have to be somewhere else. The choices that have been made. The choices that have been made. Let's detonate that. Well, I've kind of... At this point, I've kind of committed to this design, so we're just going to have to... We're just going to have to go with it. Alright, so I'm going to make an effort to have these as close as I possibly can to the locations in which they're being pressed. So that would be canola seeds. This one is... I love that sound. Apple juice. This one is tomato juice, so that should be tomatoes. And... Oh, I haven't built this one yet. This one is corn juice. This one is going to be bell pepper juice. I guess it doesn't really matter. None of these are close enough for that to be an issue. There's a bell pepper. That is corn juice, so that's going to have to be corn. Which is here. And I've got 2 left. That's going to be beets and radishes. Okay, well, it's fine. It's fine. None of this really matters. Okay, let's get that out of there. That out of there, and then we'll put that there. I mean, this is going to be way overkill for power. But it's going to be, hopefully, a decent thing. I understand there is also no backup power-wise for this. We are going to be putting in some of these flywheels as an option. I can, while I still have access to this. That's too big. I can put in some of these horizontal framed ones in the water here that they are not going to impede any flow whatsoever. And that I don't think is going to look too terrible. I can put one of those there. Oh, that doesn't match that side, though. Choices have been made. And I'm going to commit to those choices. Horizontal frame flywheel. Yeah, I'm just going to put that there. And that should be fine. Yes, that costs 40 metal blocks. No, we do not have a ton of metal blocks, but it's going to be worth it to have reserve power that can last through basically anything. These are 50 HP each, so 6 of these going at any given time means every... I think every hour would be like 300. The math should work out. The point I'm trying to make is that the math should work out. That's set there. I know this isn't centered either, which, well, in this thing. I don't know. Do you like this? Do you hate this? You're not going to hurt my feelings if you say you hate it. But now I am kind of up, you know what, creek, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff. All these products I'm putting in. Beaver boom. That's going to go there. And then this has to have the compact water wheel here. Where did that... oh. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So bring those materials there. I am going to have 6 types of liquid coming out of here, as we previously discussed. And then I also need a place to put water. So yes, in theory, I could put 1 medium tank on top of each of these and make some sort of ugly access to any of those instead of having the giant underground tank. So you know what? For the sake of my personal sanity, I think that's going to be the best option. We'll just have to make some sort of not completely terrible way to access all this. Okay, you know what? I've got an idea. Let's do 6 here, and then have this all just 1 row. And then I'll bring that out this way, and then what I can do is... Oh, yes. Oh, spiral staircases. Yes! Ha ha ha! I won! You know what? That doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible, and it's going to allow us to have pretty much everything we need. So, water goes there. What was this one again? Yes. Delicious sounds. Canola oil. I'm sure that sound absolutely just sends some of you screaming and crying into a corner, and for that I am sorry, but I'm not that sorry. Apple juice goes in here. I can't determine just by looking. Tomato juice can go here. I only made 5 of these, didn't I? No, I made 6. 5 including water. Okay. Oh, man. See, this is why I cannot be trusted to operate heavy machinery. It's just basic stuff just slips by me. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. Okay, I desperately need to not hear that sound again now. Water. This is like the intro to Avatar. Water, earth, fire, air. A great show. I think it went over a lot of people's heads, though. Okay, now I'm actually begging for that sound to stop. You picked it. Okay, I know. Canola. I don't remember what the order for this is. I guess no, it's the same order here for all of this. So I just need to go left to right. I just need to go left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a second. No, I was actually right. I only needed 7. What am I doing? Genuinely, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because I no longer have any idea. Oh, come on. I need it to be symmetrical or I'm going to lose my mind. So that can be dynamited. They still haven't finished this. I need them to finish this. And then they'll finish this. This is charging. See, this is making... Okay, it's making 540. But this is also not connected here. This one's making 412. Okay, so we're gonna be making like 3 times what we're actually gonna use here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Did I flip the doorways on this? I did. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. And this 1, 2, 3, this is the 4th recipe. That's beaten radish juice. Okay. Now, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I've got 6 liquid recipes. I have 7. I want this to match, so there's gonna be 8. So that means I have 2 that are water. So maybe, since water is kind of a important thing, it goes as an ingredient in some of these. How many have an ingredient as water? Just the corn. Okay, and where's the corn? the corn is there. So that means this one should be extra water. Other than that, this should be fine. Okay, this is the closest to this one, but if we're talking about equitable distance, then this could go here, this could go here. Okay, so this is the one that was canola oil. Second one is apple juice, like it was supposed to be. This one, tomato juice, so that one needs to be changed to tomato juice. This one is beetroot radish juice, which means this and this need to be beets and radishes. Beet and radish. No. That's one. That's a singular juice. What am I doing here? Okay, that's fine. This one needed to be the corn juice. And then this one gets to be bell pepper juice. Okay. I think I finally figured out how to do basic kindergarten math. So let's let them, build the rest of this nonsense as best as we can. I'm going to have them time-lapse this, yes, I know, but I need to get this done. So I'm going to let them time-lapse that, and then we'll put that last tank in, and then mercifully I will be able to end this episode having accomplished something for all of our pain and suffering. See you on the other side. All right, so I think we're finally just about done here. Let's hit B for boom. And let's take these ladders out. After I remove the pathways, of course, because, of course, that's the thing. Come on, click. Thank you. Nope, I always forget. All right. This is not going to fit until I take that path out. Why in the world does it still do that? Okay. And this was the one I said had to be the bell pepper juice, which is right there. So, I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you just have this be water and this also be water? Well, guess what? I heard you. Now this is the beet and radish juice. As soon as I remembered, there we go. That's going to look a whole lot better having the water right in the middle. So, there you go. Once they finish this, we will have all of the juices represented. We will have all of the squeezers squeezing, and we have so much power being made. We are making over 1,000 HP, and we're only really needing about 300 of it if all 6 of these were going at the same time. So, I know it's not perfect, but it is a start. And we can, of course, put some other stuff over here. But eventually they're going to get that all fixed up. The beavers will come and drink from the juice, and we're going to have a bunch of well-being points come in real quick. Okay, it was up here. Yep. So we'll let them get into that. I think everything else, trees-wise, is looking pretty good. In the process of cutting these down, it is the end of the workday, so I'm sure they're going to go and take care of that later. But again, this is clean. This has been blocked up, which means, yeah, we're starting to get a little bit higher water level in here. And no flooding over here because we prepared for that. It is surging through here with a quickness, though. I'll tell you that much. And we do have some coming through here. It's not coming over the top, but you can see it kind of going through there. I guess that's fine. Should be okay. This guy can't reach anything, so goodbye. There we go. Now we're even. And this is not beet and radish juicing because we don't have ingredients, or no? Okay. There we go. Now we got juice. You know what? The colors actually balance out kind of nicely here. I was not expecting that, so I'll consider that a win. Trees I will consider a win, and then of course over here this has already been quite good. We have more to do, but that'll come in due time. Let's check on how much we have going on here. Yeah, we still have plenty of scrap metal. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is good for today. I know probably a little frustrating to watch as I fumble around, but we got it done, and I think we are going to be set up very nicely for the next time when we attempt to, get a little closer to getting a metal mine set up. We're not too far away from one now since we're over here, but we would have to come over and do some pretty substantial... There's that well-being boost. Some pretty substantial terraforming and rerouting, and then, of course, closing this off to get to this underground ruins, but I think that might be the ticket. I don't know why I hadn't thought until almost the end of the episode to build something over here. But that's the way it goes. I appreciate you guys bearing with me in my crazy, stressed out brain trying to figure this stuff out. I do always appreciate you watching the videos and leaving helpful comments. Constructive criticism also always welcome. And of course, Beard Boosters subsidizing all of the insanity, making it so I don't have to run sponsorships on these videos or anything. We just have fun playing with the Beavers. And every once in a while, we have a kind of chaotic, crazy video that ends up actually working out fine. It's always fun. And I'm looking forward to the next time we get back to this playthrough. But right now we have 4, count them, 4 active Timberborn playthroughs. That was never my intention, but that's how things worked out. So we're going to do our best to keep up with everything and put the Project 1K playthrough to an appropriate end without kind of giving it a short change or anything. And of course, continue this one, continue Water Beavers, and get back into the 1.0 experimental with the folktales, and that's been a whole lot of fun. But now it's time for me to head off and take care of other things. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Whatever it is you're doing, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.